you haven't sent us the Friday recording.
Okay, we'll see. I'll see. Just give me 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think we have done partitioning in the previous session, partitioning, repartitioning. So we have seen that partitioning will help in reporting, improving reporting performance. What is partitioning and repartitioning? Both we have seen. So another performance tuning techniques we have to discuss. How do you know that certain query is long running or certain load is long extracting? There are so many queries. How do you know that certain query is long running?
It's long running. I mean, if it takes a lot of time because once the query is good, it starts giving you results and it populates it like
Correct.
So if it is pulling the first record very late, it means it is in the loop somewhere.
Okay. So how do we justify that? Like what you said is a correct point, but there should be some basis. Like if user complains, if user complains, then we have to take care of any performance tuning technique. So in that case, there should be some basis for me to decide whether I carry on the performance tuning or not. So on what basis can I say? Do I have any information in the backend side which says that this query ran for so much of time? Ideally, if something of that sort is there, then I can make a decision based on that, right?
There must be some.
If all the
it's time based. Yeah.
If all the query runtimes are captured based on the query runtime, I can conclude saying that this query, it is taking so much of time. That's why this is a problematic query and we need to fine tune it. Understanding? And what I mean to say is we need some statistics to prove that, right?
Right.
So these statistics are nothing but capture runtime information of queries as well as load times. Today 1 million records are there, it is extracting quick. Tomorrow 5 million records are there, it will take more time. So to justify that the loading is happening delayed, I need to have some statistics of that. Likewise, reporting also is getting delayed. All statistics. So what happens is statistics for a cube, for an info provider, or for a query are not switched on by default. They need to be manually switched on. Once on, they capture the runtime information then this information can be used for performance tuning. Just read this. I'll be back.
Mhm.
Hello. So,
Yes.
so is this clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So who does the
let us.
statistic?
Yeah.
Is the basis administrator does it, or we can do our own too? We have the tools.
No, administrator part also certain statistics they have to maintain, but apart from that we should do it on our side. Okay, if we check our cube, go to the manage screen, here performance, check statistics, which is yellow, rebuild when convenient. So as we said, by default it won't be there. We have to build it.
Mm.
You can build it here, or refresh also you can do, both mean one and the same. Or this is the main screen setting for BW statistics. Here you will see list of all queries in the system, list of all targets info providers in the system, web template and workbook. So now let us search for our object. This is our object. It is a cube created by me. You can see statistics is off. Default means off only. X means on. So whatever loading times are there for this, they are not being captured until and unless you switch it on. So I have to switch it on. Then what data I want? Do I want only back-end data or front-end data? I need both. So click on all. Then click on replace values. See, it will get changed to X. So now on statistics will be collected for this. Okay. Likewise the queries on this. I think we have not built any query on this. So even if we build a query on this also, by default statistics are not collected. We have to switch it on in case we build a query on this. Let us see that. So where does this information get stored once you switch on? This information is stored in RSDD stat star tables. There are tables which begin with these names, RSDD stat. So in these tables the information will be stored. You can see there so many tables related to this. Couple of tables, the data information will be stored. So this information we can use it on basis of technical content cubes. Okay, technical content. They are standard cubes which start with 0 TCT. So this you have to install the technical content flow. There are so many cubes for that. You have to install that technical content flow, then start loading. So when you load to those technical content cubes, the data is fetched from these underlying tables into those cubes. So on top of those cubes, you can run reports to make use of this runtime informations. You can see over here technical content cubes. By default they would be there the beginning, these all things, so many different, for TTP statistics, for data volume statistics, for info package load times, for query run times, so many targets are there. So these all are technical content flows. This will load data from the underlying statistics tables, and regularly the data will be, these objects will be loaded regularly so that up-to-date statistics information is captured in these targets. And if any scenario occurs, we can run reports. If I want to find why load time is longer, I can check on the info package and TTP statistics to understand the pattern, how the load time was and what happened, why it is longer. If query is longer, I can run a query on this one to understand why it is running longer. Okay. So this is about the technical content. So by default technical content, we have to activate the technical content flow. Okay, so just go through this. I'll come back. So create a new query. Okay, so I'm designing a basic query. So it is being saved. Now it got saved. Can just refresh, maybe it can reflect. It's already reflecting, right? The moment I create it, it's reflecting. So the queries are also by default not switched on. I have to switch it on, and I want entire data. Whenever a query is executing, it will take some time for database access as well as some time for front-end calculation. So I need both the times to be captured. Then replace values. It will become X. So from now on, whatever query executions you do on this query, they will all be get captured. So whatever we are talking about, statistics will help in improving reporting performance. If statistics are not maintained, on in production, the database access time required while query execution will be longer. Hence, SAP suggests okay, fine. Just go through this one. Statistics, and now they will. What's the purpose and importance of that? In case of any statistics issues, you can recreate or refresh. Over a period of time, statistics might not be collected properly, causing to reporting increase in runtime. So at that moment, you have to refresh statistics or recreate them so that up-to-date statistics are maintained. So now, since statistics are maintained, the status will show green. Statistics. So now coming to next point. Aggregates. Aggregates are nothing. But before explaining this, we have to see attributes. attributes of master data. There are 5 types of attributes. Display attributes, navigational attributes, exclusive, relative, component, transit. Let us see some examples. While loading country, ship to party and material, we have created certain attributes. Let us see them. Ship to party. 2 attributes are there. Address and country. For material, attributes are 6-digit code. 6-digit material. Talking about ship to party. Now, what are the types of attributes? What type of attributes these are? Yes? Are they display attribute or navigational attribute?
This display, I guess, is it?
Yeah, by seeing the name, we can say that they are display attributes. So usually, what is the purpose of attributes? In reporting, how they will be useful? For further drill down, right?
Yep.
Further drill down, filtering, and all those things. They are being used as independent objects in the reporting level.
Yeah.
Even though they are not directly contained in the main object, they are being used as an individual object in reporting. So by default, any attribute is a display attribute. Can key figures be attributes? Or only characteristics? Even key figures can be attributes. For example, material ID, length, units, width, units, volume. So in this case, if you check for this data, some units are there, some measurable things are there, but are they changing or they are fixed for a material? They will be fixed, right? They are just telling the properties of a material that its length is so and so. So even though they are key figures, they are attributes. Attributes can be characteristics, key figures and units. In case of, I'm saying by default any attribute is a default attribute. In case of key figure, will you be navigating based on key figure or is it for display purpose only?
For key figure,
If you have a length, yeah,
you can drill down using lengths, right? Or
okay. Just talk about a pure key figure like revenue, quantity. Will you be using it
no,
for drilling down?
no.
Okay. So in general, we don't use key figures for drill down. So in case of key figures and units as attributes, they are only display attributes. I have to complete this. By default, any attribute is a display attribute. They can be switched on to navigational if required. But key figures cannot be switched on, right? But few attributes like key figures are purely cannot be used for navigation. They cannot be switched on. Hence they are called as purely display attributes or exclusive attributes. So both we have covered under one thing. Exclusive attributes means cannot be switched on to navigation. They are purely display attributes. So any attribute is a display attribute. Some can be switched on, some cannot be switched on. So especially key figures and units, if you have, they cannot be switched on for navigation. But if you have other characteristics, it all depends. As per requirement, they can be switched on or not. In any case, if any attribute is purely for display purpose, whether it is a characteristic or key figure, if it is just for a display purpose, they cannot be switched on for navigation. They are called exclusive attributes. But if they can be switched on for navigation, they are called as display attributes. Okay. So in our case, how to know whether it is an exclusive attribute? So double click on attribute. Here a tick mark will be there, attribute only. If this tick mark is there, it is an exclusive attribute. So under General tab, by clicking on this, it will be an exclusive attribute. You can see. Let me activate it. So an exclusive attribute cannot be switched on to navigational. You can see. Let me activate. It is exclusive an attribute, cannot be a navigational attribute. So this is about exclusive attribute. Now coming about a normal attribute. I have reverted it back to a normal attribute. Even country is also a normal attribute. You can see switching on navigational. What happens is when you switch on navigational, the technical name will be main object double underscore this object. So if you don't give any description in reporting, it will show like that only. It will be confusing to user. That's why it is saying display, give some description. Now you activate. What happens once you activate? Let us see. By default, certain master data tables are there. P table, T table, S table is SID table, T table is text table, P table means attributes table. To be more specific, time dependent attributes, navigational and display. So whatever time independent attributes are there, whether it is a navigational or display, they fall under the P table. So you can see in our case, the attributes are time independent. So obviously they would fall under P table. Main object, the attributes. Then T table, text table. All text related information will fall into this. SID will contain SID information. You have one more table, Q table. Time dependent attributes, navigational and table display. So whenever you have a time dependent attribute, whether it is a navigational or display, it would fall under Q. You can see. I'm switching it on. Now you get a Q table. So I have two attributes. One is time dependent, another is time independent. The time dependent address will fall under Q. Along with address you have valid to and valid from, because it's a time dependent. Whereas country will fall under time independent. So in such cases, when you have partial data in P table, partial data in Q table, in a table level, if you want to see combined, you can go to view. So M table is a combination of both. It's a combination of P table and Q table. And it shows us both the fields. So these are the basics of the different tables. I am reverting back. Whenever I am doing changes, you can see it's giving some information. The transformation is reset. We are disturbing the there is a transformation including this object. So if you are disturbing this object, the transformation would get inactive. That is what it is saying. So after the changes, you have to reactivate the objects to proceed further. Reactivate the transformation and ATB. Okay. So these are this is about the display attribute, different tables and other things. Okay. Now what is navigational attribute, how it is helpful, we have to see. What are the advantages of navigational attribute? Okay. This aspect I will be showing in the next session. I'll stop it with this.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you send? Can you also send the Friday session?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine then. Bye.
So tomorrow
Thank you.
we have the class same time.
Depends. If I am traveling, it won't be there. Otherwise, I will have it. I will inform.
Okay. Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye.